Okay.
Hi everyone,
Hey
and
guys.
we're on live. Hi, this is Echo. Welcome back to another episode of iChongqing's channel. This is Echo. We are today in Huguang Huiguan. We call it Huguang Guild Hall. It's really a historical site in Chongqing. It represents the migration movement in Chongqing in about 200 years ago. And I'm really glad to invite Mr. Li Zewei, the creator, the founder of a Chongqing-based Hanfu community, and Liu Liang, um, who is from Chongqing and now lives in Rotterdam and has her own pottery and Hanfu studio there. And today we are going to start our show in Chongqing and in Rotterdam at the same time. And 2022 marks the 50th anniversary of the establishment of diplomatic relations between China and the Netherlands. So we are really glad to produce. Oh my God, this! We are really glad to produce this live stream show between Chongqing and Rotterdam
Yes.
to
We're
promote the
introducing it to
cultural
China.
exchange.
We're introducing it to
So,
China.
Okay, you're from China.
Yes. I live here, but we're connecting to China.
Okay, you
Yeah.
live in Rotterdam.
Yes.
It's nice at the building.
Yes, that's why I want to show
Have you
them.
been inside?
Yeah, it's perfect.
It's amazing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Yes.
nice.
Yeah.
Have a nice night.
You too. Bye. Okay. Just someone passing by.
it's really glad to see that, to see those interaction between you and the locals.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Did you rounding up that kind of situation very often? Like somebody would, see you wearing Hanfu costume and ask you the questions about your culture in the local.
Yeah. Yes, quite a lot, especially if we wear the full set. So, everything looks luxury and stuff like that. And they will ask, what are you wearing? And some people will know they're guessing it's Chinese traditional clothes. When I went to, for example, Dusseldorf and people are chatting and little kids are just staring at my skirts and they want to take photo from me. And some people, they don't really know what's this about, but they'll come to ask me what's this clothes about, and I'll tell them it's Hanfu. And some people, of course, they will think it's some other costumes from other countries in Asia, and I'll just explain to them this is from China and from which dynasty, yeah, stuff like that. But mostly people just take camera, and shoot you. Yeah.
Really glad to see that. So, can you tell us a little bit more about yourself to our audience? Switch the camera so you guys can see where I am right now, and to recognize our live stream theme today, because this is the script my coworker is holding for me. Thank you. And you can see Mr. Lee here, and
Hello, everyone.
yeah,
Hi.
greeting from Mr. Lee, and he is wearing. 今天穿的是一个什么样的一个感觉的衣服？
也是一个道袍的那种。
哦，道袍。
真丝的那种道袍的衣服。
哦，OK, silk Taoism robe. Can I see that way? See it that way. Wow. So 因为是丝的，所以说它可能比较容易皱的感觉是吗？
Yeah.
本来是摊开，但是我今天带过来的时候稍微有点皱。
但是很自然。我觉得这种感觉就是能看得出，我能碰一下吗？这种面料的质感，摸起来是很轻的。
是的，摸起来是很轻的。
Yeah, can you see the material?
我们知道，其实在那个保王堆汉墓啊，还有一件衣服，就是有一件那个辛追夫人的一件衣服。
辛追夫人，
其中有一个词叫薄如蝉翼，来形容它，就是很薄的也很轻的，把它折在一起，可以塞进一个这个火柴盒里面。
哇哦，
相当之小。
你形容的是它的这个衣服是吗？就是这种蚕丝的衣服。God, how to translate this? It's like
I can help you.
Yeah, okay, please. Okay.
Yeah. So what he's wearing is basically, I think late Ming 代是晚明对吧？算是应该。
它是晚明代的衣服是吗？是的。
对，yeah, it's the late Ming dynasty, and it's inspired from people who are in Taoism, but later, back then, people who are very well educated or literal, they just wear this kind of stuff to show their lifestyle and show that they know lots of stuff and they are literal. Yeah, so like they are to show they are high end educated, and this is kind of very trendy back then for guys. And not only white, they also wear lots of other colors like bright blue and also some different color combination to show their aesthetics. And yeah, actually, I'm wearing the clothes from Ming Dynasty too, but it's from early Ming Dynasty, and I can show you. Let me see if I can.
哇，您看那个亮亮他这边他也穿的是一个明代的一个服装，
刚好。然后今天我们邀请来的这些朋友。
Can you show me?
Wow, wow! Can you guys look at the? Thank you, 谢谢。再给您一份。Wow. See this is real. This is really amazing. Granny, okay.
Yeah,
simultaneously in Chongqing.
Yeah.
But we had the beautiful umbrellas like this. You guys know how to translate this? It's oil paper umbrella, right? This one?
Yeah, I think it's something like that.
Yeah, some oil paper umbrella. It's really beautiful. And look at those guests that we have today. They were all wearing Chinese traditional costume from the Ming Dynasty, I think.
有三个。
3个嘛？有3个呀？我看男生，哇
Oh, that's the more formal
这个是不是有什么特殊的就是仪式才穿的一件？
像这一件就是以前古代是锦衣卫形成的。
OK。
所以刚好也是
customers for officers
几个朋友，我们一起在这个空间里面共同相聚。我们这位朋友呢，他可能但是实际上也是今天让他在感受汉服的魅力。他平常做的是设计师的工作，但是我觉得今天穿起来也是很有气质啊，特别有气质。
Yeah, but you know you should change the shoes.
We're also wearing sneakers.
yeah, but you look really fine with this costume, you know that? Because with all the glasses, with all the glasses, you look really, knowledgeable as a real officer in the Ming Dynasty. You look really like a people with wisdom. It's really, can you turn it around for me? Thank you. Yeah, turn around for me.
I think we need to.
Thank you. Wow.
身上印的就是
蟒。
对。
It's not dragon.
也称作叫蟒
袍。蟒。
Yeah, so it's not a dragon because only the emperor can wear dragon, but normal people can wear different.
中国的特别
creature, magical creature. Yeah. 神奇的生物，神兽。Okay. But without any, professional explanation, I would thought it would be a dragon. I would know.
Yeah, actually, the way to distinguish it between dragon and Mang is dragon has 5 claws, and Mang only has 4. You can see.
Where is the cloud?
It only has 4.
Okay, see.
It only has 4, so that's not
There's
dragon.
only 4. Okay, that's not the dragon. It's Mang.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
Really nice. I like the color. It's
yeah.
Really amazing. Is this? 这是您第一次穿这个朝代的衣服吗？您是自己穿吗？还是到这里来就是来学习穿这个 ？Wow, so they dressed you up. It's really nice looking of you. Thank you, 谢谢。一会儿我还是需要 I will just invite our guests today to present these Hanfu customers for us. So I think this beautiful lady, she isn't dressing like the Han Dynasty costume, right? 咱们这个套看起来不大像明代的。
这个不是明代的，这个就是
宋朝的吧？
它是里面呢是一个 齐胸的襦裙，
哦，
然后外面呢是一个大袖。
哇，大袖。Okay, so the slopes are really wider slopes. OK， 咱们这种大袖和这种有没有什么比较呢？它这个大哪一种叫小？
它实际上这个是一个
形制
的名称，它是
so it's a
形
name.
制就称为大袖。
Oh, it's a type of a slope.
Yeah, we have a different one for us. This is the 直袖 straight sleeve, so it's more daily. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's more narrow.
It's more like
Yeah.
Song Dynasty mixed with the Tang Dynasty.
So
Yeah, in the side of the traditional is Song Dynasty. It's half of the west.
Yeah.
But in Tang Dynasty, the west
is higher.
Okay.
Wow.
It's behind the breast.
Wow.
Yeah. So the inside of the clothes, this is the Tang Dynasty style traditional clothes.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's like a mix, a complex between those two dynasties, right? So it's like innovation. So you can actually innovate the way how you dress like this, right?
Now we probably not put all those country traditional clothes. When we mix them, they look beautiful. It's for us to wear it. We're not so
It's not just a traditional way.
Yeah. My style today is actually a traditional way in.
I think I know this one. Is this one the 马面 skirt, right?
Yeah, mommy skirts.
It's really expensive, right?
Yeah, in those years, this is made in gold.
Gold?
Yeah.
Gold.
Yeah, it's woven.
Gold
woven. Yeah.
Gold wear.
Wow.
And there is some dark.
Can you tell me how expensive? How much is this dress?
This is very cheap because this is not made in gold.
Okay.
It's like gold, but it's not real gold.
Is it handmade or industrial piece of work? Handmade one.
Yeah, it's like some slopes. It colored like the gold, but it's not the real gold.
Okay.
Real gold is very expensive, and in Ming clothes, there were used the gold to dress the.
What is Minghua Town?
就是这个领域里面，这个特别好的。
It's a luxury brand.
It's a brand.
It's a luxury brand in Hanfu society.
Yeah, it's a expensive side.
Okay, I get it. Okay. So it's the Gucci or the Chanel,
Yeah.
right?
Yes,
the Hermes in the the Hanfu society. I get that. Okay.
Yeah.
How expensive it could be for a 马面 skirt? Do you know? 4,000 RMB.
Yeah.
So it's like over $500.
Yeah,
Wow.
something like that.
It's for cheap one.
Yeah, okay, the cheaper one. Okay, there will be more expensive one than this.
More expensive.
Wow. So what are these ceremonies that is holding in this Yuan temple? I think in the beginning of our show, I was asking Liang to introduce herself a little bit more. So now I just immerse myself into those Hanfu culture with these beautiful people around me. So I'm so sorry, Liang. Please introduce yourself and where you are, and show us a little bit more about your situation. Okay.
All right. That's a perfect timing because now it's very windy and rainy here in Florida. Let's find a spot somewhere safer. Yeah.
Okay, behind you. Wow.
Yeah, behind me is the Boimans Museum depot.
Wow.
So this is like the public, how do you call this? Art storage.
Yeah.
Art storage museum, and that's the first one. That's art storage area that's public to everyone to go in and check how they store everything. And it's basically a silver ball. And
Yeah.
yeah, it's amazing and very modern and even cyberpunk-ish
Yeah.
looking.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
So
watched the video on your channel, on your Bilibili channel, the video that you dressed all dressed up with the beautiful Hanfu costume and enter this museum and really draw people's attention by this. It's
yeah,
really a big contrast between the way you dress and the situation that you are living in, because I know this museum is like it's not really a traditional museum. It's a
no,
boat, right? It's kind of like the
yeah,
boat of the collection, artwork collection. So you can
yeah,
book your order and book your entrance and enter it without, worrying about how long I'm gonna stay in this museum and about those questions. You just
yeah,
immerse yourself in those art situations, and I'm really
yeah,
glad you can show our audience about this museum. And some of our audience are asking questions and like just get one from the shop and then I will pay by direct debit into their account. What are you going to talk about? Actually, is that embroidery or just printed? I think they are asking the
the
printing,
skirts.
the images, images in your skirt. Can you explain
Yeah, yeah.
the
So
details?
there are different, the different, there are different ways of doing that. The one, for example, I'm wearing now. I'm not sure if I can show. Like this. It's waved in. It's not printed. A
Wow.
skirt like this, and you can actually
Wow.
see
So it's
inside.
like a stitched by stitch embroidery, right? Embroidery
Not
work.
really. Maybe maybe
Yes,
you
I
can.
can open it.
Yeah, it's possible. So this is actually woven. You can see from the back.
Wow.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
some will be just printed on. It all depends on what kind of technique you use. And this one is also not really expensive because right now in China, we have this aesthetics and technology. So we don't
Yeah.
have to do everything so expensive right now, and
Yeah.
it's more affordable.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but if you
And
want, you can always go, go bold and go very expensive stuff.
so tell us about your studio, your Hanfu studio. Is that do you provide kind of a Hanfu costume service for the locals or some other,
Yeah,
products?
yeah. So for me, my studio co-founded with my
Mm-hmm.
friends in China, and
Mm-hmm.
actually this piece I'm wearing now is designed by us. So we do
Mm-hmm.
customization
Wow.
for our customers, and we also mostly customization for our customers. And we recently just launched our shop, and
Mm-hmm.
also we do customization for Chongqing, which is
Mm-hmm.
Qipao. So it's
Wow.
more like a modern, later um, Chinese traditional, not really traditional anymore pieces,
Mm-hmm.
but people are still really interested in it. And the thing that's good about Qipao is you can see how Western culture, modern culture, how to say, influenced our aesthetics and our culture, and
Yeah.
we make a fusion about it, and that's
Wow.
the beauty of that too.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, this piece, my Michelle is
Wow.
wearing now,
I
and
like the
the one,
color. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, and this one I'm wearing now is designed by us, and it's handmade.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
yes.
So how did you find those material? How did you find the fabrics in you know in
Yeah.
Europe?
No, we bought the fabric in China, and
Oh,
we search hard for unique fabrics and the ones that match our style. And
yeah.
yeah, and
It's a big
we try
effort.
to
That's
get,
a big effort that you took in this career. You have to
yeah,
take
yeah,
all this fabric far away from China to Europe. It's really a hard work.
yeah. But the thing is, our shop is really based on China. So our tailor, they are
Mm-hmm.
in China right now. But
Mm-hmm.
for my customers in Europe, I'll help them ship the materials, or the clothes here and let them just try it and wear it.
Oh, can you tell me the details on your slopes? I think I saw really beautiful flowers on your slopes.
These ones,
Yeah,
leaves.
yeah.
Yeah. It's 缠枝, 莲纹. It's like a lotus in the Buddhism, and it's
Buddha.
influenced actually from I think Tang Dynasty,
Wow.
because you can already this kind of stuff.
Same image, really. Yeah. Okay, somebody is asking questions. Does Chongqing has Hanfu festival similar to ones in Xitang? I don't know. 咱们重庆有什么汉服的这种文化节，或者是一些大一
I
点
think
的
we
这
can walk back.
这个 parade 这种游行吗？
阳那边会有过，阳那个安居古镇。
哦
很多地方最近一些年都比较多。
哦，就是在这种古镇的环境比较多。So in ancient towns in Chongqing, you know, Chongqing has a lot of ancient towns,
然后
and
这几年商业的发展比较快，其实传统文化和汉服因为商业里头会很多。
okay,
我们经常也有跟景区政府单位的做一些
合作。So you will. So the government is promoting this kind of art festival.
基层政府也在推。
政府它是在推广这方面的一个活动的。Actually, I have a video from this Hanfu community that of their activities in those local areas. I'm gonna show you guys. It's really a short videos. See this one. Okay, guys, the video is not working. I don't know why. I tested it. It's working. It was working when I tested it, but I will post the video in our Twitter and our Facebook and Instagram account. Okay, so make sure if you will visit and click the video, and we will be touring around in Huguang Guildhall. It's really a nice place. You know, we choose this place because this is a historical site. I'm gonna introduce this place for you guys, and at the same time, we will invite Liang Liang to, you know, to walk to her studio and introduce the costume and the design idea of her Hanfu, you know, innovation. Because the way I see her design is kind of different from these traditional ones, right? Because I see this, I really like the color of your costume, Liang Liang. I think they are kind of different. They're kind of different. So let's start with the introduction of this Huguang Guildhall. You know, guys, in 300 years ago, a series of disasters left the vast lands of Sichuan province wasted, sparking a large migration movement from the surrounding provinces to rebuild this area, which is Chongqing right now today. That's the story behind Huguang Guildhall, this place, guys. Guys, if you are like the first time to Chongqing, I strongly recommend you to visit this place here, because in here you can see those different types of guild halls. They serve to different types of cities and provinces. wow，他那里还有一个那种汉服的一个爱好，那个是吗？
他们就是在
拍照
会有很多穿着汉服进来拍照。
哇，
因为本身湖广会馆有300多年的历史，
是的，
也是重庆市唯一的一个这么大规模的建筑。实际上有很多的进来拍照的呀，或者进来举办传统文化活动的。
So there will be a lot of cultural activities in this area, beholding in this area, including the Hanfu activities. This place was constructed in 1759 under the regime of Emperor Qianlong during the Qing dynasty, right? It was, as Mr. Li just mentioned, it was one of the more than a dozen guild halls built in Chongqing, but now it is the only one that still has remained its, heritage site like this. Basically, it's a complex of buildings that function as cultural, business, and social center of over 200 years. Okay, so Liang Liang, are you on your way to your studio right now? Can you?
Yes.
Can you just share your story about you and Hanfu with us? Like, when did you start your journey with Hanfu?
Yeah. Okay. So I'll first introduce myself a bit. So I'm Liang Liang, and I'm based in Rotterdam right now. I came here almost 8 years ago for study, and I'm working. And I start to realize I want to learn more about my own culture when I'm here, and I feel there's a lack of Chinese culture presentation here. So around 2 or 3 years ago, I start to check Hanfu, and because there's so many people who are doing the recreation retro style of Hanfu, and there are more and more information about the tombs, about the history, and you can see what I didn't know before, because we used to have a stereotype for Hanfu a bit earlier, like it's only for the shows, and they are not even correct. But now with more and more information we have access to, we start to realize, okay, we have so much more than just what we see in the TV show, and it's very interesting to see why people design stuff like that, and what's the meaning behind it. So for example, recently it's gonna be the Zongzi festival, right? And before that, the only thing about Zongzi festival I know is about the poetry, 屈原, and the food. And now I know more about it. So during this festival, people really love putting some herbs, and they have patterns called five poison animals. So 五毒. That's yeah, like scorpion, frogs, snakes, this kind of stuff. So people really put their wishes to avoid poison or like disease by doing this kind of activity, or put the patterns on their clothes. And they will have a tiger on their clothes too, which means the tiger will suppress and protect us from the disease. So this kind of stuff I didn't know before, and I only get to know after I start to check Hanfu, and yeah, that's how I start my journey.
Oh wow, it's really a fantastic story, because it's glad to see younger people like you to, have this strong presence of this Chinese traditional costume as a self-recognition in overseas, I think.
Yeah, I think especially for Chinese students overseas, we find it even stronger to try to bond to our own culture, because we are so exposed to Western cultures or other cultures, and we want to present ourselves too.
这个看起来很新的就是复修的。
Yeah.
有一些呢，它就是像
And
春宫
Mr. Lee is
那个春的
introducing
那
the
个叫春宫
culture and the history
春
of
宫呢，就
this
是
big theater
有
in the Huguang
100多年
Guild
的，
Hall.
就是最近的一次修复是在
How
道
long
光
is the history here? 咱们这里的历史大概有多长？这个戏台
这个戏台是道光年间修建的，有100多年了。
over
它是
100 years.
每隔一段时间它会被毁，就是很多古建筑都是这样。比如乾隆年间最开始兴建，然后到了过了一两朝了之后，或
So
者
it
是
was
毁于战乱，或者是毁于其他的，然后又重新修复修建。最近的这一次修复的呢，是在2003年
，Wow.
，03年到05年
So it
花
was
了2个亿的文物基金来修的，
哦，
当时还是向世界银行贷款。
Wow. So they just 整个湖广会馆是吗？
整个湖广会馆
Wow.
包括广东会馆、
OK.
齐安公所3个位置。
哦，
其实现在的这个湖广会馆是由3个会馆构成的，一个呢是湖广会馆、广东会馆和齐安公所。
齐安公所是指什么呀？
是湖北黄州的一个会馆。
哦，
当时呢，湖北黄州以前叫齐安郡。
3个会馆是广东会馆、广东 Guild Hall and 齐安 Guild Hall
就是湖北的
refers to 湖北 province。
湖广。
湖广
在元代是设立一个叫湖广行省，湖广行省相当于现在的湖南、湖北、
provinces 广西 and 江西 right？
对，也有江西
including 江西。
现代之后就。
So Mr. Lee told us the story and the history of this restoration, repairing, construction project of this Huguang Guild Hall. Wow, look at the street on Rotterdam. I've never been to this city. It's really beautiful.
Yeah,
It's really beautiful. And it's really glad to connecting between this ancient historical site and this. I think those houses were like they have history. They have times on it, right?
Rotterdam is very special. They were totally bombed, right? Bombed during World War II. So most of the city is very new. That's why the landmarks here are all modern, like the museum I just showed you. But there are some lucky spots like these areas. They are these are older houses that's not bombed during the war. So some of them can be more than 100 years old, and they are very expensive.
And I just asked a question about how you start your journey with Hanfu culture, and I think I'm really curious about 就是let me ask Mr. Lee first. 您最喜欢的汉服的是哪一点？您觉得？
我首先觉得，第一个就是穿上它之后特别的显气质，这个我觉得也是很多年轻人特别喜欢它的原因。就每个人肯定可以选择自己符合自己气质的汉服来。还有一个
气质是怎么理解呢 ？Stylish
就是更符合东方人的身体体型吧。尤其是
designed by Chinese people, just like suits looks the best on Western people, I would think. And it's because that's how the time evolved, and people find their own way to design the outfit for themselves that looks the best.
Okay, so bring out the quality of yourself, bring out your personality on this costume. It's not just a dress, not just a clothes. It's kind of like you dress, you are like who you are when you are dressing.
Yes.
国外，其实我们这些年举办了很多就是要毕业出国的一些成人礼，很多父母其实都想出国之前，更重要的是告诉他你生在哪里，你的根在哪里。等你出到国外了之后，中国是你的根，我们的文化都是在国内的。所以实际上呢，出去之后应该要把中国更多的东西能够带到国外去，然后把好的学到的国外的一些新的东西、好的东西又带回到国内，去建设我们这个新的国家。这个是很多父母亲办成人礼在出国之前。
So you So you host a lot of like grown-up ceremonies, wearing Hanfu costumes, right? Those kids, adulting ceremonies. Am I translating this right? Hope to see you all later. Okay, Alex is saying hi to us, and I'm still on the biggest. 咱们这个是最大的一个戏台，对吧？咱们这个里面不止一个戏台，我记得哈。
这里面一共有4、5个戏台，
Okay,
其中有
4
一
to
些
5
是比较
theater stages.
VIP 型的，稍微小型的一个戏台。
Oh, wow. VIP stages. Okay, they used to, serve for the loyals, right? The royals, not the loyals, royals. Okay, so, what do you like the most about Hanfu, Liang Liang?
For me, I just think I love the what do you call it? The meaning behind it. Like I mentioned before, different patterns, they have different stories, and you can see how Chinese people embed their culture and show their culture from the clothes. Like for Moon Festival, you will have rabbit for sure on your clothes, and this is like how to show how we put our wishes for fortune and the beauty of life in our daily life. To really show we have how to say this nice wishes for our lives. This is also a way to wish ourselves lucky and prosperous. And also, for example, I like it because now I can wear it in a modern society and find some way to embed it and also present to other people, and that's why I like it the most. Okay,
Yeah.
we're almost.
I like how you describe your love with this costume, not just costume, this traditional culture, because I watched the video, I watched the documentary that's when I know there isn't such a thing or such a definition about Hanfu, about official definition about Hanfu.
No,
You can today, from the way that people in Chongqing, in Huguang, told about how they were dressing, and the way how you and your friend are dressing, I can see the Hanfu is not that really much or just traditional custom. It's about an idealized interpretation, innovation, or recording of traditional culture by younger people like you. And it's really amazing because that just remind me to ask a question. What do you think is the more important, the inheritage or the innovation about Hanfu, about protect and inheritage Hanfu? Who's gonna answer this first? 就是李老师也可以，就是您觉得回答一下，您觉得对于保护传承汉服来说，是传承这种经典的更重要，还是说创新更重要呢？
我觉得是要分不同的时间点啊。第一个时间点就是其实相对于这些年呢是很多的大众，包括海外的一些人对于中国的汉服相对还是比较陌生的，然后刚好这些年年轻人喜欢把汉服穿出去，大家才略有一些了解，但是呢还不是特别的熟悉。那这个时候我觉得应该是传承比创新更加的重要。我们先要让普罗大众先了解到汉服它究竟是一个什么概念，它有哪一些不同的形制，它有什么样的一个意义然后把这些东西都了解清楚了之后，把汉服传承好了之后，然后我们才去谈发展。但是呢，如果再过个一些年，比如再过3、4年，大部分的人对于中国的汉服，对于中国的传统文化都了解的比较的深了。好，这个时候我觉得应该是创新会更加的重要。
您觉得这个中间的时间，您觉得可能会需要多久，我们才可以
我相信应该用不了多久，大概3-5年就差不多，大家都会对汉服有一个更深刻的了解。
But now is the time for people. You are saying that people should, know better about the history, about the tradition, about Hanfu society, about what is it like in the history, right? In this period of time. So after that, we could innovate. This is your opinion, right?
是的，是的。
Okay,
就像
so
我们这个公司呢，是从2014年就开始创立。其实2014年到2018年的时候，这几年大家对于汉服的这个是比较陌生的。但是这些年，从19年到2022年，短短的3-4年，很多的这个大众对于汉服就特别的熟知。除了汉服之外，对于中国传统文化也特别的喜爱。所以我相信3-5年过后，越来越多的市民对于汉服会更加的了解，也会用中国传统的方式来举办自己的传统仪式啊，或者是来运用到企业的经营啊，或者商业的一些推广当中去。
Yeah, so it's for you. You think the 3 to 5 years is a must-take process for the public to understand the culture in it. It actually is, because as I mentioned, I watched a documentary. We know that Hanfu is getting more popular since decades, since 15 years ago from now. It's not as much as popular as it is now, because from a documentary it told us a man dressed up in Hanfu walked on the street in Shenzhen province. It was like in 2003. It was like really public events. That's when the public start to realize, to notice this kind of code. Before that, it was really a minority culture in China. So after decades of development, there are more younger people got involved into this industry. Not just loving it, but also producing products around it. Yeah. And we see Liang Liang and her friend is in her studio right now. And what are you going to show us today about your studio?
Yeah, so today I will show a bit our own design for Hanfu, and when we design it, we keep in mind that we want to introduce this to more people who are not yet that into Hanfu yet, but they're hesitating. So maybe they'll think right now the clothes we're wearing is so complicated and it's not that easy to match with modern lives. That's why we keep the style, so the 形制, the design of the structure of the clothes, but we took a more modern patterns or designs, like little details to be able to match it with like jeans or chinos or just normal skirts that you can easily wear outside. Then I'll show you. Let's change the camera.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
Okay. Let's see. So there are some. Can take this off. Okay. These are the clothes that we recently dropped, the new line. So this is for summertime, and because for us we want to wear it daily, so we choose the narrower sleeves. That's easier for us to do how to say, to wear in daily life, so you don't have the big sleeves and sweeping everywhere. And also for big sleeves, it's more for it's for formal situations,
So,
like this
so
big
this is
one.
this is what you're doing. You are like trying to design Hanfu clothes into more of a daily life instead of just make it more stage like, right?
Yeah,
It's
like
really
what?
important for wearing this in the public, because we don't, sometimes we don't want it to dress like too dramatic. We just want this kind of dress, like really bending into our daily life. It's really like more natural thing for us, right? For modern people to wear.
Yeah, exactly. So like what Mr. Lee just said earlier, we still need to be educated on Hanfu and more knowledge of it. And I think one way of doing that is to attract more people to get into it. And then how to say, if you have more interest, you have, it's like demand and supply, and the government will try harder to educate more. And the way to introduce this to normal people, not normal people, to how do you say, 普通人, 常人, the people
To
who
the
are not
public.
to the public, yes,
Right.
thank
Yeah.
you. Is
And
to
we
let them.
have a question. How long does it take? Kevin is asking a question, a good question. How long does it take to tailor a custom Hanfu?
Okay, yeah. So the working, it can take up to 1 month, 2 months, depends on how detailed it's gonna be. For this kind of summer clothes, it's not gonna be super long. So if you have your own tailor, it's gonna be 1 week, 2 weeks. And for harder technology design, like this kind of stuff, it can take months. Or yeah, it really depends, like your culture. If you're designing a simple piece, or if you're having a very luxury pieces, it really depends on the design.
Okay, I'm gonna interrupt a little bit because I'm wander through this Huguang Guild Hall, and I'm gonna introduce guys. One of the main attractions here are, this we have walked past the theater, and this one is I think this one is a meeting room in this place. They have meeting rooms here, as we mentioned. This place are mostly used for cultural and business and society events in 200 years ago. So I think I'm gonna keep on our journey and take a little closer look about. So they have those statues here to imitate how people was living their lives in 200 years ago, like this. And I'm gonna read those information about the scene reconstruction nostalgia complex. Guildhall creates a bond to connect homesick affection for immigrants outside their hometown. So we are talking about the migration movement in this place. That's the reason why they built this Guildhall in that period of time. Chongqing, at that time, Chongqing was suffer from disasters like famine, like wars, like this fire disasters, or any kind of natural disasters. So they are lacking of populations. So it was like a repopulated kind of thing. They move people from Hunan province, Hubei province, Guangdong province, into Chongqing, into Sichuan province. Back at the time, Chongqing belongs to Sichuan, and that's the migration movement. And that's the reason why they built this guild hall, because these people, they are from the other provinces. They have their own culture there. China is really a big country. Everybody has their own cultures in their own hometown, their own cities, their own regions. So when they came here, they kind of have to build this connection between themselves and this area. So they build this place, and they will hold activities. They will socialize in this place, and that's what we see here. And their culture were inherited as Chongqing's culture from now. So I think that's why we are here. It's really important. This scene is really a reconstruction scene for this one is called charitable donation.
因为当时会馆有这样的一个功能，
功能
它有
function
赈灾的功能，还有相聚的功能。
charity function. So 赈灾是他们出于一些，比如说受灾了，我们可以在这里筹款，是吗？
是。
So they raise money in this place for the people around this area, due to these disasters in this area. I think that's really, it's really a warm-hearted behavior, warm-hearted place
还
for
有
people.
同乡的人，他如果在当地遇到了困难，他也可以来这里
So
寻找
it's like
帮助，
association here.
类似于现在的商会。
Wow.
现在的商会。
Okay. So, Liang Liang, do you ever think that if you more people like you overseas, more Chinese younger people like you overseas, to associate together, got together to promote Chinese culture like this, there will be more communities and associations that you guys can help each other more than just culture promotion. Can you imagine that? Wow. And I'm sorry, please continue your introduction about your studio.
Oh, sorry, I was muted. Yeah, by the way, back to the point you were saying. So, for example, in Netherlands, we have the Hanfu Association. Most of us were students. Some of us are already working now. So it's now not only a way to share Hanfu, but also we do activities together. We help each other. It's more like a community, and we're getting there. I think not only in the Netherlands, for example, in America or Canada and Australia, they all have this kind of association. I think it's more for us to have a friendship all together, and when we have trouble or something like that, we help each other out. So it's like more like a community now for us.
Wow. Well, I saw your friend just took off her, her coat, right? Does she have something to share with us about her costume or her interest about Hanfu or traditional Chinese culture?
Yeah, exactly. This is the one of our designs. So for more modern purpose, and she's now just wearing it with the jeans, and yeah, you can see, and
wow.
Yeah, and Michelle, you can introduce yourself. She's actually studying the Chinese study.
Yeah, so I just finished my bachelor in Chinese studies, and next year I'll start my master's in Chinese studies. So hi, I'm Michelle. I was born in the Netherlands.
Hi, Michelle.
Yeah, my interest in Hanfu actually started with my bachelor. Before that, I know Hanfu from historical drama and just watching wuxia movies. And actually, during my bachelor's, I started to learn more about the Chinese culture, and and then I met Yang Yang on Instagram, and we've connected since then.
Oh, nice to meet you. And may I ask, what do you like? And what do you think of the influence of Hanfu in Europe or in your city?
Sorry, could you repeat your question?
What I'm asking is, what do you think of the influence of Hanfu society in?
So the connection is not good.
The connection isn't.
Connection is bad.
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe I'm just gonna.
Yeah, you asked something about how the influences of Hanfu on this Dutch society.
On your region. Yeah, on your region or on these areas that you are really familiar with.
Yeah, so if we are talking about my direct community, it's not that huge, but I know that there are small communities from overseas Chinese students who actually wear Hanfu during their spare time or daily.
Will you, just like Liang Liang just said, they are more, internet influencers like you, like those designers. They will promote Hanfu society, Hanfu culture overseas, not just in Europe. Some people are in Asian regions like Malaysia, like Singapore. I remember I saw one internet influencer. She kind of like create the Hanfu version of the Disney princess. I saw it on the internet. I think it's really a brilliant idea to promote Hanfu, in those pop culture of those Western areas, and we all know that these Asian regions, they were all influenced by Chinese culture, and um, so why my question is, do you think it's important to promote those culture on the internet as social media influencer, not just as designers, but also we could promote more, produce more videos or pictures or new media content about this to promote this culture? Do you think it's important to you?
Yes, definitely. Because I grew up here, and I actually felt a disconnect between my Chinese culture and by actually seeing more representation on social media, I think it will help other people of Chinese descent who grow up overseas. So I think it's very important actually that there are influencers who are talking about Hanfu. And it's also
Wow.
important for the
Mm-hmm.
yeah, non-Chinese people to know about
Mm-hmm.
Hanfu, because then you have an exchange of cultures, and I think it's
Mm-hmm.
important to keep that conversation going.
Yeah, and speaking of like non-Chinese people, actually my boyfriend, he's my photographer for all my Hanf outfits, and he can
Mm-hmm.
also talk a bit how he, as a Dutch guy,
Mm-hmm.
interpret the Chinese culture and how he think about it. Let's introduce.
Wow, welcome, welcome. And I saw you.
Well,
Wow, hi, nice to meet you. And I'm
nice to meet
using the
you,
back
everyone,
camera.
and everyone who's watching.
Hi, I saw your. By the way, I saw your photographer work, and they are really brilliant.
Oh, well,
I
thank you
think
so
we
much
have
for
to
telling
show
me
it
that.
to. Yeah, I think I have to show it to our audience. It's in the backstage. They are really beautiful. Let me check with those banners right away. So where are these pictures? Where are they?
Well, they're
Here.
usually just taken all around. Uh,
See this? This one?
ah,
Yeah.
Yes.
Where did you guys take this one?
so this was taken in Klingendal Park. It's a very traditional park that was built around the 1800s as a sort of addition to a mansion, and it's based in The Hague. So
Wow.
yeah, it's a very nice, very scenic, natural area that's also
Mhm.
captures this sort of,
Mhm.
wild element while still remaining a bit tethered to the city and urban life.
Yeah. And I'm really curious because you're for us for Chinese, you're like Western foreigners. You can't, you barely know the the traditional culture of China, right? But how can you took those, how can you create those very how to say this, very I call it sensitive photos, because I can see the atmosphere between these characters and the background. They are really amazing. How did you get those ideas and inspirations of those Hanfu pictures?
Well, I have to say I have to give a lot of credit to Liang, because she really studies a lot of these things, of course,
Mm-hmm.
and we have a lot of reference materials, because I think what has been mentioned before is that there's a lot of stage play, and
Mm-hmm.
there's also a lot of Chinese dramas, and I think there's a lot of interplay between these things,
Wow.
and so therefore it's a bit easier for me to just reference to that visual material, because I can just link it and try
Mm-hmm.
and create some style that's uh, that does honor to that, and really mixes and matches well with that. I think, hopefully that comes across. That was sort of the intention.
Wow, that's really, really excellent pictures. Thank you. And can I ask, what do you like the most part about the Chinese traditional culture besides Hanfu?
Well, I think there's definitely things I love a lot about it,
Mm-hmm.
and I also think that that's something that needs to be promoted a bit more actively, because funnily enough, when we were taking these photos, we were in a very busy area, sort of a walking tour, and people came by and they said, like, oh, these are a group of Japanese girls with Japanese clothing. And that's a bit sad to hear. So I really feel that there needs to be a bit more promotion going on, because Chinese traditional culture is very great. I mean, it's such a cherished and rich history that far precedes Western civilization. So there's so many fundamental layers and there's so many time periods that all of them are interesting. It's just, with our commercial mindsets of nowadays, it's just sort of been lost to history, and I think that's something you want to try and bring back. But what I really like about Chinese culture in general is food mainly. So maybe for me the best way to link Chinese traditional culture and modern Chinese culture would be maybe find some old and cherished recipes or something. I think that would be great to explore.
Yeah, thank you. And I have a picture of my colleague. She's recently just held her wedding as a Han Dynasty way, like this. Can you guys comment on this picture and her ceremony, because I think it's really amazing. Like this. Yeah. Yeah. Do you ever think, as a couple, do you ever think about, hold your wedding or ceremony like this in a traditional way?
Yeah, actually,
you have lots of thoughts about
yeah,
this.
we have lots of thoughts about it. So, wedding is a big thing, right? So, for our wedding, maybe next year, we're planning to wear something like from Ming Dynasty, like white ones for me, but for him, he can wear suits or the Chinese suits if he wants. Just you can change the outfits, and then I'll just try as many outfits as possible, including Hanfu and Qipao. And Qipao is perfect for cocktail dress for the party later, and Hanfu is more formal and for the ceremony. Yeah, definitely we're gonna do that too.
Wow.
Very nice if we can combine elements of Chinese culture and Western culture, because I mean, in the end, that's what we are. So it's important to highlight that, and it's also, it makes it a lot more fun. Like, we're not the type of people that would enjoy a very stuffy, very formal wedding. We want it to be fun and playful, and I think mixing and balancing those cultures is just part of the fun.
Yeah, you can wear the wood shoes.
Oh, the clogs, yeah.
Oh yeah, the wood shoes, yeah. Wow, and I'm really looking forward to it, to your content. I know you guys are promoting your career, your studio on Bilibili, right? Did you ever consider about create your own YouTube channel? Maybe next time we can connect our YouTube channel together to to show your pottery studio next time, because I know Liang Liang is also a really talented pottery creator, pottery artist. And thank you, many thanks to your boyfriend. And I saw you changed your costume, right? Can you introduce it? Because right now I'm in the studio of Mr. Li Zouwei. They are, conducting this Chinese traditional tea ceremony for us. And while they are doing this, please introduce your costume for us, Liang Liang.
Yeah, so this is actually one of our design. So my brand is called Fufu Violile. And this is one of our, my favorite piece, because this is inspired from Bijia, which is a vest from Ming Dynasty. And you can see the shape and the design is all like the old time, but we choose a different material. So this is cotton, and it has the parsley pattern. 所以就是那个佩斯里纹、腰果纹
，parsley, some kind of pattern from Indian.
Yes, or more Western compared to Chinese ones. And we have this color contrast to make it brighter and more striking and more modern. And also here, so these are all the details we put our efforts in. And for the button, traditionally we'll have the metal button, which is called
Yeah.
code.
Oh, the buttons are
Yeah.
cute.
Yeah, yes, but for now, for this one, we use a modern wood, not wood one. It's made from a fruit shell or fruit seeds.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah. So
Did you pick up those? Did you pick up those woods by yourself?
I wish maybe one day. Actually, we're planning to make ceramic buttons by ourselves, so I can make it, and we're gonna use it on our clothes.
Wow. I can see a lot of details on the costumes, and I really like the color. The
Yeah.
blue is can I ask is that blue color is natural, printed kind of a material on it?
I think they are all the fabric we choose are all how to say
Yes,
botanic based.
Mm-hmm.
It's cotton and it's naturally dyed, so it's very
Okay, I think the connection is kind
and
of bad.
the color we design it like the dress I'm wearing is just the modern.
卡住了，我就不用了。
Like a lightweight.
Okay, so style tea. Okay, somebody is asking, is that Chongqing style tea ceremony? You can see that it's not just Chongqing; it's Chinese. Actually, it's Chinese style, right? Tea ceremony, Chinese tea.
Lightweight. The full of the button. You just
Okay, I am in this, and I think I lost Liang Liang. I think I lost Liang Liang. I'm waiting Liang Liang to come back, and our editor in chef is presenting this really beautiful photos backstage for us, and we have a video. And now I'm just sitting in Mr. Lee's Hanfu studio, and I think that's it. I think we have Liang Liang back.
Yes, sorry, I think my phone was dying.
It's okay. It's okay. I think this is it. This is our the end of our show today. I'm really glad to have you guys in our show, and I'm really grateful for inviting Liang Liang and her friend, her co-designer of her studio, and her boyfriend. Those brilliant content creators and designers in Rotterdam to connect with us. And also, I'm really thankful to invite Mr. Lee and his friends, those Hanfu enthusiasts in Chongqing. You guys are promoting a really nice thing, and I'm really glad to have you guys with us. I think this is it. Please, guys, please subscribe to our channel, like, share, and support our content. This is iChongqing's channel. I'll see you guys next time, and
See
I'll see
you.
you around, Liang Liang.
Yes,
Thank you.
bye.
Please subscribe Liang Liang's channel on Bilibili, okay?
Bye.
Guys, I'll just